work separately a lot, but for us, we've been doing collaborations the last 6 years, and that came, and through the first collaboration, all the other subjects developed from there.
Yeah, I think the first thing we did together didn't even turn into a project, but that's where it started, and I think it influenced.
Yeah.
He was running a gallery, I was doing a show in this gallery, and so we were there a lot at the same time, and then we were just fucking around, and we just did this DNA test for whatever reason.
I know he wanted to find an incredible story.
I wanted a good story,
but nothing happened.
But it was a boring story.
Just a normal white guy. The normal code of ethics that we use as humans, like in our social life, I think. That's the only thing that restrains us when we work with art.
Yeah.
But sometimes we want to also question like the boundaries of art making, and also play a bit with, not necessarily cross the line, but play with the power of suggestion, like make people imagine that we're going to.
This is a privilege for artists to be able to approach topics differently than academics and journalists and other people in a position to talk about something. Artists have a different kind of position which allows us to create discomfort, and sometimes topics need this, right? Sometimes there needs to be a certain amount of discomfort to talk about certain things. Otherwise, we're just comfortable in the distance that we have from problematic things. We might be a very big part of those problems, but they don't affect us.
Projects that we work on in 2014, we did a reenactment of a human zoo. And in 1914, the company that was contracted to do the human zoo, it was registered in London, and the name of it was European Attraction Limited. And then after that, we just used that name in several projects after that. Like
we were working or just looking at the phenomenon of exhibiting people, exhibiting cultures, like this thing that was going on, to really pump up the idea of how dangerous it is. And then there were stories of having actors there doing like fake robberies just so that these tourists could see some real danger. Because otherwise these tourist industries are not making money. So they have to increase the what they're selling is danger, and they're selling, misery. So this needs to be a part of this thing. But anyways, this was just to trace. Everybody likes to think, well, not everybody, but it's easy enough to like the idea that the human zoo, the idea of the human zoo stopped. We did that. We asked around in Norway, and people didn't know about the fact that had happened. And so, but they still think it's a terrible thing.
It hurts their self-image of goodness,
Yeah.
They're just too good now.
It doesn't fit in with the image that is being projected of kind of a
But somehow this self-image of goodness could be also traced back to what was happening then. Like when we trace the evolution of superiority. 100 years ago, when that human zoo was there, it was so easy. I'm black, you're white, you're better than me. It's like that. But now you come to Norway, it's egalitarian. It's for human rights and women rights, and then you just meet these people who are so good at equality that I cannot be equal to them. We play with this a lot. Like actually, for example, when we did the Congo village, one of the tricks that we did is we asked for people to volunteer, and people were so scared of us putting Africans on display. But as we said, we were talking about the evolution of racism, so it wasn't for us about showing Africans, but showing moral superiority. So to do the reenactment, we thought we just needed 80 people. It doesn't matter who they are. And we didn't even know how they look like because they registered themselves online. They sent us an email. We didn't tell them to dress in a certain way. And when they came at the opening, we didn't even know who were exhibited and who were not, who were the audience. And that was also very confusing for the press. Like, like this game of like who's looking at who. You know, they came, they walked around, and they were like, "Where are the volunteers?" I was like, "They're around." Just asked randomly because they were dressed in normal clothes, and of course they start chasing Africans, all the Africans who came to see the exhibition, and that also exposed them in a funny way.
Feeling like art actually has an effect on the world, you need to accept the fact that that isn't true.
Well, I think, as I said, you have to ask better questions, not to provide answers.
I was just in the middle of one, and then you
Yeah,
just cut me
but I'm
off.
gonna say something better, and also you have to spy into the future because you have the tools to do that. You can go into the future, see what's happening, and come back and tell people.
If your question was, can art create really cool things and like influence
come
some
on.
inventions and like be entertaining? Yeah, cool. But can it make people change their behavior and change like policy and politics?
Yeah, slowly, you plant the seed, and then the seed have its own life. It grows in its own. Like, you're not God, man. You're just an artist. What do you want to change?
That's what I'm saying. You're saying that it does change something.
Yeah, it does.
By planting a seed.
Yeah, but you want to change it right now. Like, oh, here's the project. Look at the world. It
That's
just
true.
changed.
That's true. Without that proof, then it feels like it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Maybe it does something,
Of course it does.
but not directly, and you can't prove it.
I have to work with this guy. Can you imagine? This is horrible.